Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of HighLowSports' Tier Tuesdays, this time on a Thursday. Guys, we are getting ready for the 2024 NFL Draft. If you have not been keeping up, go check out any one of our past episodes. Our QBs are over on the Belly Up YouTube page. Other than that, running backs, tight ends, and offensive tackles are all right here on our HighLowSports YouTube page. Today, though, we are talking the interior of the trenches. That's right. We're talking interior offensive linemen. I'm going to break down my thoughts on the top five guys in the interior of the offensive line. These guys are going to be a mix of guards and centers. Nowadays, it feels like they're almost interchangeable in a lot of ways. They play so many different positions. So yeah, it's a very interesting set of offensive line to kind of rank. And that's why I'm not ranking them. This is why the entire process of our Tier Tuesdays isn't actually a ranking. It's kind of talking about where I feel they fall in categories in the draft, as far as best overall interior offensive line, best overall tackle, things like that. So this one's going to be a little different, and it's not necessarily going to be the best interior offensive line. I'm going to talk about who I think is going to be the best center, best guard, different things like that. So be sure to stay tuned for that. But before I get there, guys, just got to tell you about our good friends over at Magic Mind. If you guys don't know yet, if you've been under a rock for the last couple months, feels like. So at the end of last year, beginning of this year, we first started working with Magic Mind. They sent us over a few testers to test out of this right here. This is their mental performance shot. Oh, let's see if I can get this to actually zoom in and actually concentrate. We're getting there. Okay, it doesn't want to cooperate. Yeah, there we go. Magic Mind, and it's got a whole bunch of words on there. Would sit there and try to give you guys a bunch more, but as you can see, it messes up my lighting every time I do this. So, guys, the story with Magic Mind. Long story short, it is a mental performance shot. So basically, what happened is I've been struggling a long time with a kind of staying awake during the day. Lot of time I get mental fog in the middle of the day, start getting really, really drowsy, even falling asleep occasionally at work, getting in trouble with my bosses because of it. It was a concern. There's no doubt about it. It was an absolute concern for my health and what was going on. So I started adding this into my daily routine. I just took this little shot with my morning routine, which for me is V8 energy shots, the little small energy drinks. I drink that, and then this would go along with it. It's a mental performance shot. It's just added to your daily routine. It's not trying to replace anything. So unlike energy drinks, where it's a shot in the arm, you're good for 1 to 3 hours, and then after however long it takes your body to metabolize it, you fall off a cliff. This doesn't do that. This, with its 12 active ingredients and locally sourced United States quality ingredients, some of the highest quality ingredients you can get on the market, this product helps keep you energized, sustained, productive, and motivated all day long. It also provides focus and keeps your brain from that midday fog that a lot of people get. On top of that, provides 100% of your daily recommended values of vitamin C and D. So none of that seasonal depression. You get your quality levels of vitamins for that. Look, it's been over. This is safe to drink. I just talked about energy drinks and how unsafe they are for you. This is the other side of the coin. This is the healthy side. This is the stuff that's good for you. There's been over 200 scientific studies behind each and every product in Magic Mind's mental performance shots. So what does that mean? Long story short, means there's a whole lot of tests that make sure this is good for you and is going to do the things that they say it's going to do. They use products like California grown line mains mushroom. Absolutely fantastic. Help your cellular regeneration. Help keep your brain from fogging up. On top of that, there is organic ceremonial grade matcha straight from Japan. Look, if you guys know anything about Japan, they love their tea ceremonies. It's one of the biggest parts of their culture. A lot of people will spend their whole life training on how to do a tea ceremony, and this is the teas that they deliver for the highly esteemed guests. This is a tea of honor in Japan, and this is what's used inside of Magic Mind. Absolutely fantastic type of ingredients here. Will help you daily to stay more productive and motivated while keeping your stress levels down, which I know every single person today is dealing with a high level of stress. This helps keeps it down for me personally. I got a lot of stress in my daily job. This helps keep me a level mentality. Lets me work an 8-hour, 9-hour shifts, even longer some days. Come back home, be able to knock out a few podcast episodes with DJ and help you guys get the information you want from the sports world. We bring it right here to you. So thank you to Magic Mind for everything they've done to help me. I know, guys, it would absolutely help you. You guys know Joe Rogan. You guys know that they also consider some of their ingredients a nootropic, best in market nootropic inside of here. So look, just give it a shot. If you guys want to know more information and want to learn how to pick up some of your own, you can head on over to Sprouts, Essential Market, or an Arrowin grocery store or market, and they will have them in stock there. Unfortunately, I don't have one near me. So what do? I head on over to magicmind.com and I use the slash high low pod for it. So magicmind.com slash high low pod because I insert the code high low 20. Sorry, high low pod 20 to get 48% off subscription for the next 10 days. Or this is an or if you want to make a one time purchase, 20% off your purchase. Can't beat that. Comes right to your house. You get throw it in the fridge, get ready to use it the next morning. Look, I love it. I will swear by it. It's absolutely helped change my life, helped made me a lot more productive on my daily in my daily tasks. So guys, I do recommend it. Again, that code that website is magicmind.com slash highlowpod. The code is highlowpod20 for 40% off of your subscription order for the next 10 days or 20% off of a single one-time purchase. Guys, go check that out. It's what's helping me do this episode today. So shout out to them. Now let's get right into it. So, guys, this is going to bring us to our interior offensive line for the draft this year. Look, we have a lot of guys on this list, but I don't think there's a better guy to start this list off with than Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon. He's the best overall center in this draft, best interior offensive lineman in this draft. I know I don't have that listed as this category. It doesn't matter. He's the best center, best interior offensive lineman. There's no question about it. Honestly, if there's another category I'd throw him into, best name for an offensive lineman, yeah, absolutely. There's a second best name in this draft, by the way. I'll get to him a little bit later. But yeah, look, I don't think there's any question. Jackson Powers Johnson, a guy who's performed the last 3 years with no questions asked, been starting since a freshman. Guy has been an absolute talent for the Ducks. Big reason why Bo Nix and squad was able to get as far as they were this year, and actually the last couple of years. I know they've had some stumbles along the way, but that offensive line, no questions asked. Jackson Powers Johnson has been the leader of that offensive line. So he's my best center. Going down to the best guard of this draft, I'm heading it up to West Virginia. I'm going Zach Frazier here. What you want to talk about the best guard? We got to talk about Maulers. Just an absolutely dominating presence is what's usually contained in your best guard. Then Quentin Nelson-esque in their talent to just finish plays. That's what Zach Frazier does. This guy is a four-time state champion wrestler in West Virginia. If you guys don't know anything about West Virginia, they churn out wrestlers like candy. It is insane the number of wrestlers they churn out. This guy's a four-time champion. So since he was a freshman in high school, he won as a wrestler every year. Wild to think about. You see that talent though when it comes to his hand fighting and his talent in the run game for Frazier every single play. There's some questions with his pass blocking. That's because you can't always maul on a pass block, but when it comes to finishing, dude's an absolute talent there. Best guard in the class for me, without a doubt, is Zach Frazier. Now we're going to move down to the multi-position starter. This guy's the guy I see potentially playing guard or center for whatever NFL team drafts him. I'm going Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State. You guys might be like, what? A Kansas State guy? They weren't that good. Don't sleep on those Kansas State Wildcats. Those guys, they turn out some NFL players, especially offensive linemen. This guy started in a new position each and every year, despite being one of the best graded players in his position each and every year. Give me Cooper Beebe here as the most dynamic, can easily play all of the positions in the interior of an offensive line. Probably honestly could slide out to tackle if you need him to. He's a little undersized. His talent's all there, though, without a doubt. So Cooper Beebe, best multi-position starter here in the draft for me in the interior of the offensive line. Now we're moving down into guys. Well, they might have some issues. That's Zach Zinter, mobility issues limiting. And look, nothing against Zach Zinter. He has two really good like schemes he fits in with, that being a man scheme or a gap scheme. But zone schemes, different schemes, pass blocking, that's where he struggles. Getting him out on the edge, also an issue as well. Obviously, coming off of the terrible injury he suffered in the Ohio State game this last year. It's going to be tough, but he is supposed to be back and ready to go in summer OTAs. He did perform here at the Michigan Pro Day, and that was just a couple weeks ago. So, guy's an absolute talent, but There are some questions with his mobility, his fluid hips, not so much there. But look, results are in the stats. You look at that run game for Michigan, look how talented and look how often they ran behind Zach Zinter. No question, this guy does have the ability if he goes to the right team. So we'll have to wait and see with Zach Zinter. But right now, I'm just putting mobility issues limiting. Now, the best run blocker. I know I did say Zach Frazier might be the best run blocker, but this guy with one of the best names for a run blocker, probably the best name for a run blocker, really, is Christian Mahogany. Yes, I am making a wood joke. Look, he is strong like wood, strong like mahogany. I don't actually know if mahogany is a strong wood or not, but you know what? We're going with it. We're going to roll with this analogy. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. My bad. But no, Christian Mahogany, he's strong, very strong. Great run blocker, but, and there is going to be a but in this one, he struggles in the pass game. It is what it is. A lot of run blockers have a hard time when they have to stand still and can't attack the defender. Whether that be looking at somebody like a Quentin Nelson at times struggles in the pass game. And alternatively, you have Zach Martin, who at times can be caught in the pass game. And those are just like top tier NFL guards. Well, Chris Mahogany, not a top tier NFL guard yet, but a guy who could be very good in the NFL. He is going to be your best run blocker as a guard, no doubt about it. But in the pass game, a lot of concerns. A team like Baltimore would love him. Team like, well, anybody that runs the ball will love him. Heavy pass teams like your Kansas Cities, there's going to be some questions there. Just he's got a hard time staying behind his body, or keeping his body behind the block. He gets caught off guard a lot and just ends up reaching for a holding penalty, allowing the defender to get straight upfield. And when he tries to predict the defender's going to run upfield, you often leave a cutback lane, which is what he does. And that cutback ends up in a sack inside of the pocket. And that's a lot of Christian Mahogany's issues. That's all teachable. If you go to the right team, those are talents. Those are skills that can be taught. So I don't think there's a lost cause with Christian Mahogany. I think he can be a good NFL starter given time. He might need a year or two on the bench to get ready, but he's definitely your best run blocker from the start. So, if you can figure out a way to use him in the run game, maybe not have to rely on him so much in the pass game, do it. Absolutely do it if you're any NFL team that's struggling for that interior offensive line positions. Guys, so that'll do us for our interior offensive line. Just to recap here what we were looking at. Best center, I'm going Jackson Powers Johnson in this draft. Now, best guard, Zach Frazier out of West Virginia, absolute mauler. And the multi-position starter here is Cooper Beebe out of Kansas State. Mobility issues will be limiting in the NFL, but could adapt to them. Just needs to work on that mobility, work on those hips, especially. That being Zach Zinter out of Michigan when he's healthy. And last but not least, the best run blocker in the class, but struggles in the pass game. We're talking Christian Mahogany out of Boston College. So, guys, let me know what you think of that. If I got them right, got them wrong, what your thoughts are on the process, who you have as the top 5 interior offensive linemen, because not every board's the same. This board is a lot different because a lot of teams have guys ranked a little differently than I do, and even DJ does. So we'll have to wait and see kind of where that rolls out at the end of this process. Well, the day before the draft, we'll let you know on a whole bunch of new talent with our brand new episode. Then we'll do a mock draft and kind of let you know where we're at, guys. So be sure to stay tuned for our live episodes every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Or if you missed the live episode over on Facebook, on YouTube, or X, formerly known as Twitter, you can also check it out audio only the next morning at 6 a.m. So if you're watching this on Thursday, each morning, Thursday mornings on any platform you prefer at 6 a.m. Eastern time. Be sure to check that out. Guys, as always, go check out Magic Mind and good friends over there. MagicMind.com/HighLowPod. Use the code HighLowPod20 for 48% off your subscription for the next 10 days or 20% off of your one-time purchase. Again, that website, MagicMind.com/HighLowPod. Code HighLowPod20 for 48% off of your subscription or a 20% one-time purchase. So, guys, be sure to check that out. As always, we appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to stay tuned for next week's Tier Tuesdays, as we'll be talking defensive line and edge rushers. I know everybody's excited about that one. So, guys, stay tuned for that. As always, we appreciate you tuning in. And until next time.